Welcome to Festival Television. My name's Mark Sir Andrew. I'm the editor of KoreanGlobal.com, and I'm here with John Sintras from Starcom Media Group, and we're just going to get his thoughts on this morning's session. John, we opened with two, some would say quite unconventional speakers today, J.Y. Park and Ben Mesrick, and I just wondered what you took out from those sessions.
Well, I think they're unconventional speakers, but really important speakers, because we're all about content and understanding where great stories and great ideas come from, and it's great to hear from people that are creating stories. I think Ben's comment was really interesting in terms of the real life being more inspiring and interesting than fiction. And it wasn't until he stumbled across great real life stories that his career became a success. You know, the more he tried to be creative, the less creative you end up being. So I thought that was really interesting, and I think that's true of the great ideas in what we do. You know, great thinking comes from immersion in real people's lives, talking to real people, you know, being in and amongst it. And I think he verified that as a very powerful place for inspiration.
And J.Y. Park dealt with some very big concepts, sort of global content ideas, and lots of sort of cross-culture collisions.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, the notion of meshing different culture to come up with the new global, whatever that looks like.
And he had some interesting ideas as well about sort of creating packages, almost ready-made packages for brands. So when they wanted to look for ambassadors, you know, to front campaigns, he was ready with products to sort of help drive engagement and things like that in brand activity. I just wondered what your sort of thoughts were.
Well, it's an interesting notion. I sort of am a bit repelled by something that's a cookie cutter approach to marketing and engagement. So, you know, the notion that you can just have a shelf full of products and the personalities or whatever that you just pick and choose is not something that sits naturally with me. Having said that, you know, it all starts with having content that's compelling, and I suppose if you have compelling content that you can then tailor and make available for brands, you know, that's a powerful position to start from rather than customising from scratch every time.
I've heard you described as a 21st century connected CEO.
Okay.
And I just wondered why you felt people were talking about you in this way.
Well, I've been around for a long time, but I think I've just really embraced this incredible world that we find ourselves living in. I mean, you know, we've just had access to so much inspiration and fascinating things that are going on. And, you know, we all have a choice. You either get frustrated by the level of change and pace and options that we have to think about, or you go, I have the best job in the world, which I do. I get to be stimulated by, you know, brands, content, producers, whatever. I mean, I just get access to so many stimulating things. And you either go, I'm going to enjoy that and learn from it and push it out to people and, you know, hopefully become inspiring to my team, or you hide under a rock and slowly, you know, die. And the latter doesn't seem like a, you know, great option for me.
And I suppose finally I wanted to ask you, is there a lot of rubbish spoken about engagement?
Yes.
Are there lots of people talking about something they don't really understand?
Yeah, I think so.
And what are the most common sort of...
Look, it's the latest buzzword, isn't it? You know, you've got to mention the E word, otherwise you're not doing your job properly. But how many people are really thinking about what engagement means? I mean, is a Facebook like really engagement? Well, I don't think so. And it all comes down to, as much as I love being creative and, you know, and thinking about inspiration, we are here to deliver a commercial outcome for clients. So engagement has to have a commercial outcome. You know, it's got to be about brand advocacy, it's got to be about intent, whether it's purchase intent or recommendation intent or something that makes other people go and do something, interact with a brand that creates a commercial outcome. So I think you need to think about engagement and commercial outcome in the same phrase.
It was interesting, at the Festival of Media Judging, one of the comments that emerged from the judging panel was that a Facebook fan is not a brand advocate. And would you agree with that?
Look, it depends on the nature of why they've become a fan. So if they've had some deep emotional connection with the brand that's resulted in them doing that, that might be a very powerful connection.
Right.
But it's just so easy to go like. I mean, it depends on what the path has been to that like being clicked. That's the important question.
So it's more about the mechanism than the actual the item itself.
But it's more powerful when someone does something tangible. They have a choice. They can either pick up your brand and advocate it and do something compelling with it, or they can just click. Well, the click's not that important. It's the advocacy that's really what we're after, the talk value, the recommendation.
And are you with us for the full 2 days?
I am.
And are there any other particular sessions you're looking forward to
I'm
seeing?
looking forward to all of them, because what I find with these conferences, you don't know where inspiration's going to come from.
Right.
Sometimes very compelling, famous speakers end up being as dull as, and other times people you've never heard of before and have no awareness of come up with these little pearls of wisdom, and you think, aha, you know, that's one of the things I'm going to take away.
I'm sure you'll come across plenty of those in the next day or two.
I hope so.
John, thanks very much for your time.
Thanks for talking to me. Cheers.